See a lot of foes. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Head to toe. Said you got your own style. That's just slang for you. Ain't got it though. Talking like you got it. That's a problem. I might let them know. Freeze you like I'm melting some. I let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Head to toe. Said you got your own style. That's just slang for you. Ain't got it though. Talking like you got it. That's a problem. I might let them know. Freeze you like I'm melting some. I let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. 10 toes. Keep it thorough. Stepping out for sure. Though. Time to let them know. Rubber band bands. I got a lot of dough. Oh, for sure. Working around the clock. Sometimes I need me more than 24. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Head to toe. Said you got your own style. That's just slang for you. Ain't got it though. Talking like you got it. That's a problem. I might let them know. Freeze you like I'm melting some. I let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Head to toe. Said you got your own style. That's just slang for you. Ain't got it though. Talking like you got it. That's a problem. I might let them know. Freeze you like I'm melting some. I let it go.
Tapped in. Lately my life had a fast man, but it's ass plan. Fight for my life with the brass hands, and I still ball with a bad hand. Got an aerial point of view, but they'll never see the big picture through zoom lens. From the quicksand, make it push start, type of band's coupe with the tent plan. I'm back on my bender rolls for the kicks. They quick to give them 2 cents. Put my circle tight like we glued hands. Like I don't believe in new friends. Tread light, I know the ice thin. I drop the song, get a few wins. I crave the comfort in my own skin. Really, I just wanna feel the world spin. Watch me double that.
Welcome back, or perhaps even welcome in the first place, to more Epic League tiebreakers. I say welcome back for those of you who may have been tuned in earlier where we were resolving the 8th place tiebreaker. And if you don't mind being spoiled, which you shouldn't be, I mean, I don't know what you're doing here if you don't want to be, Just Error have beaten both Mud Golems and Alliance, and they have secured themselves that last 8th place slot, which means that 9th and 10th place belong to Alliance and Mud Golems, and they have been bumped down to Division 2. Now, what we're doing here is resolving 4th place. Now, I would be the one giving the breakdown, but we have a graphic developed here. T-Governor, if you don't mind showing the audience with our groundbreaking technology.
Here we go,
wow.
lads.
HD graphics.
HD graphics. So the idea is it's a double elimination bracket.
Correct.
All games are best of 1. And 6 games total in the day, lads. And after that, you get 4th place in the groups. This little trophy here means you don't have to, you go upper bracket Div 1 playoff. So this will be updated throughout the day. Graphics are excellent here at Epic League. So yeah, there we go, lads. That's what we're seeing. Double elim bracket. Bang.
Double elim bracket.
Wow, you're very talented.
I know. The production skills really do surpass me.
We're here wasting our time in Photoshop and stuff like that. Really just should have been using pen and paper the entire time. Lacoste, what are you miming out there?
You lost touch.
Let's dive into the draft.
Okay, let's dive in. Fine. OG versus Liquid. This is going to be the first of the 4th place tiebreaker. First phase picks and bans already happening. Earth Spirit, Storm Spirit. 2 spirits picked up for Liquid, banning out the Morphling and the Sven. OG get their hands on Io, ban out a Slardar and a Bloodseeker. Dive in, Lacoste.
Diving in, usually when they pick Earth Spirit, it is a mid-Earth Spirit. But now that they have a Storm Spirit, it's probably just going to be that position 4. Even though they can flex it. You know, we saw Ember Spirit being played as position 4 in the previous game. Not very effective, but 99% it's going to be Storm Spirit mid, Earth Spirit 4. On the other side, we have Io, which is OG's probably the best hero. Not sure why teams keep giving it to them, and Puck. I'm not a big fan of Puck, but whenever I see Storm Spirit, all these maneuverable heroes, it's just that good of a pick. It counters both of these spirits, and it's very hard to actually go on Puck with these 2 heroes. Like before Storm gets an Orchid, it's very tricky to play for Storm Spirit into this matchup.
I think the key thing here is if you looked at OG's previous games, they played some phenomenal Dota for that kind of laning phase and then that constant aggression, like we saw at the TI, right? And we saw that again in the end of this group stage. And that's where I think Liquid with the Earth Spirit, Storm Spirit pick, of course, Earth Spirit, you can, argue as a block pick, but it's the ability to take the fights and also, get the backlines. That's the key thing. Like if you look at that Just Era series, they had these great heroes, but they had no way to really enter the fight. They had to wait for OG to come at them, and that game plan never works. So that's why Liquid, you see them going for these 2 very potent early heroes to just try and take that fight. But OG, the Puck, how much space Tops have made. Sure, there's that one game where he fed quite profusely, but then after that, he's been very space creating and enabling. So yeah, nice opening so far from both teams.
Yeah, it is Liquid who gave OG their hands on Io that one game, if you recall, where Topson played mid Pango, and that is the mid Earth Spirit that went up against him. But then it was a mid Pango going up into a Bloodseeker. So there were some alternate factors that were concerning why that Io lost for OG, but they do indeed get their hands on it. Venge going to be banned out, and then a Beastmaster.
The thing for me, though, if you look at the last time OG was playing Io, they had Io, Tusk, and Jug. That was the core of their draft, right? So it'll be interesting to see if Liquid actually respect this combination of heroes, or if they're going to allow OG to have that playstyle. Because I think Tusk, for me, in my opinion, on OG, is one of the best heroes they can have, because he is by far one of the best 4s for those early fights and that constant go. He, of course, the save, the BKP stun, the tag team, it's a very potent hero.
Yeah, the way OG is playing right now is no cooldowns, heroes that can keep fighting all the time, even if you don't have the coil. The Puck is still decently strong hero, just constant pressure on the map. This is the way OG is playing right now is reminding me of their TI form, where constant aggression, they don't allow you to breathe, even though they lose 4 heroes. They keep going, they're gonna respawn and go again. This is something a bit different that other teams are really not doing, and why we love to see OG in action. Beastmaster banned out. I always love Beastmaster Io pairing, also one of Seb's best heroes, where you take the tier 1 tower much earlier, and then this Hawk provides so much vision, allows them to play fast, and of course the relocate plays into Beastmaster Roar always going to be good.
I love this Warlock ban from OG because like we saw it yesterday with Just Era and it didn't really work at all. But the theory behind the Warlock is good. And with Liquid, they've run this lineup which is Earth Spirit, Storm, then Warlock Spectre, right? I think they run it twice now. 1-1, lost one, but that lineup alone just feels like the most anti-OG lineup. They early pick off, but then the eventual scaling. So I love the fact that OG kind of slot in a cheeky Warlock ban in that second phase.
Yeah, it could work. Because OG tends to overextend. They want to dive the towers a bit earlier than the other teams. And like if you run into Upheaval and Fatal Bonds that early on, this could be the hero,
You think Liquid are going to try to make their 5 position be an anti-IO type hero? Because in the previous series that we saw, we had Just Era picking up an AA versus an IO strat. And we're seeing like Disruptors being picked up. We're seeing couple of Witch Doctors. Still haven't seen any Wyverns yet, but it seems that these 5 positions are what a lot of teams are using to pick up as their IO solution.
Liquid already has 2 solutions to IO, 2 gap closing heroes, so I don't think they need to have one extra. One hero that they might need to care about when you mentioned that AA, Morphling is gone, but Alchemist still in the pool, always a possibility for OG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for OG, they now have to reveal something, right? And by that, I think it will just be the position 4 most likely. Oh, wow, they took straight for the Earth.
Position 4, Ursa. Nice.
Position 4, let's go, yeah. Orb of Venom early on with the... No, I'm not going to try and do that. Either. But no, normally like teams like to open the second phase with like that support pick, kind of get the game going a little bit further, or the draft, sorry, and then get that core. But instead, OG, I think after watching Liquid with this Ursa yesterday, they might go, wow, this hero is actually maybe a little bit better than we think it is, so they're just slapping it straight in that second phase.
That was an Ursa that had a Slardar heavily enabling him, though. And
he's now got an IO.
It's true, yeah. So
I mean, Slardar here, IO. Yeah, so that you can actually see my hand.
It's something. Ooh, nice.
Hey, love it.
That's
Big fan.
Classic combo, right? Back in the day, the old Grimstroke Earth Spirit, you chuck the old Inkswell, off you go, to Lu, you go stuns the lad. Yeah. Again, it's aggression, right? I'm just, like, right now, I'm picturing, it doesn't really matter too much about the draft. I'm thinking about that 10-15 minute fight. What are the teams presenting? And Liquid are covering themselves with that ability to actually take some of these fights.
What's the interaction
And there's the tusk.
between, let's say, Grimstroke uses Leash on 2 heroes and Earth Spirit kicks 1?
I think it like contains them, right? Doesn't it hold them in the edge of the containment?
no,
Maybe it kicks them out and breaks it, right?
most force movement allows you to break
Does
out
it?
of it,
Okay.
unless
Okay.
if it's specifically disabled
Sure.
by leash. So that's
Does it
why,
matter
like,
if you're the one targeted or not?
if you're the one getting if you're like the primary leash target? No,
Yeah.
it just matters if you're in the
Okay.
leash. So
Okay,
I think
sure.
force movement will break it
Okay, sure.
regardless.
And
So
you mentioned
might
that
see
Tusk,
some grief.
T-Gov,
Yeah,
Tusk,
I did. Yeah.
like Saksa on this hero, like we should just control his camera. This is it. Like we don't watch the other lanes, player perspective from Saksa playing Tusk. I'm down because
Yeah.
what he does with the hero is extremely good. And you mentioned it. It allows him to play fast. Ursa as well, not a hero that relies on any cooldowns, so they can keep fighting all the time. A bit worried for Weaver because, okay, they have 1 silence, but sometimes it's enough because they don't have any other saves. Very burstable hero. One thing that's good, you try to use a snowball on a Weaver, she gets out with the Shikuchi, and then you put yourself, maybe some teammates, in also a very bad spot.
For me, I just see this puck pick. This first phase puck now has an amazing game where if you coil any of the cores right now, they should die, right? If you lay that they're dead. Tusk plus Ursa coming in, bang, they're gonna get absolutely slaughtered, and that in alone just kind of feels scary for me. For Liquid though, they looking for their offlaner. They need to find someone who can at least maybe tank some of these spells, because with OG, right? If you tank one like Snowball Initiation or you tank a coil, it unlocks the Storm and Weaver to play that game. So I'd love to see Liquid last pick a hero that wants to start moving towards objectives, and they just go for an Enigma. Okay, that is a pressuring hero. If you go for the Necro Book level 1 to pressure the tower, and there is no counter right now on OG. They have no way to deal with the black hole. Liquid likes playing Enigma into IO strats normally, so yeah, they have a well-rounded draft to deal with potential IO brings, and the status resistance, right? We spoke about Ursa, how annoying it is with the SMY build. That doesn't do anything against a black hole. So yeah, Liquid, they have a nice kind of solution to the problem, but do they have enough in the tank to actually deal with this overwhelming presence that OG are going to try and bring in the first 15 minutes?
I think you need to have a BKB piercing ability when you are playing against Enigma. Tusk, maybe, with Aghanim Scepter possibly. Or can he actually reach him from behind? He can, right? Oh, you say it. Just say it fast.
Is this the offlane silencer game? I just feel like this could be the time. But the Tusk, the offlane silencer, mitigates the black hole. You have the aggression of Ursa Tusk. I've got the OG vibes, but maybe it's not. Probably not. But that's my bold prediction. Thank you, Lacoste, for giving me this platform.
If they pick silencers, he goes 0 and 5.
Damn it! That's no.
No, it would be on paper sounds good, and this is something that OG really played the last 10, 15 games. But you're gonna be playing against Weaver and Grimstroke. They use Shukuchi and Inkswell. You're dead. You have no counterplay to that, so you just feed. You needed something else, and you need something more tankier, and that's what Axe is.
Yeah. I don't mind Axe for sure. It's actually going to be very scary. And also, depending on how Enigma uses Black Hole, we might see Axe getting some big pulls off, or he can catch the edge. Normally, now Enigma has to think about Black Holing on top of himself to kind of centralize his Black Hole. But if he ever makes that kind of reaching for a hole, then Axe can get that call on. So I like what OG has, but Liquid, they feel like they've got the eventual fallback plan of this Enigma.
Yeah. If he is positioned nicely, they can't get the Tusk ulti nor Axe call, but as you mentioned, if he places it differently in front of him, then they have two abilities that they can cancel the black hole with. We're talking about the BKB black hole.
Yes. Mm-hmm, exactly.
I'm just thrilled that now this is the third game with no Sven, no PA. I think we had a Spectre in one of the games, but it's just different heroes, fresh heroes, even here in this tiebreaker stage. So we're stepping out of the box. You can always step into egb.com or click the banner below the stream if you want to take in on some action on this game. But let's just pass it over to our casters for this game number 1, Killer Pigeon and Lizard.
That's right, you heard that correctly. He's too quiet to just be the panel guy. I got him back in the caster booth. How's it going, Lizzie, buddy?
Yeah, going great. Woke up, paneled 3 games, very quick 3 ones, and now into OG and Liquid. This is a best of 1 as well, am I correct?
That's correct.
Yes, these are all BO1s now. It's non-stop BO1s. Infinite, it's not infinite BO1s, so I won't go that far. I believe that was the potential thing that could happen with the earlier BO1s, but these ones, they're fixed, as T. Shuas with his very elegant table in his notepad.
Yeah, it looks cool already. 2, for me, really strong teams matching up. OG and Liquid. Liquid, they've steadily improved. They went from 0-4 to 4-4, 5-4 even, right, in the group stages. OG... yeah, they've been up and down, but right now they're looking incredibly strong. Just like in their TI runs, this is something to really, really look out for. When it comes to these drafts, like panelists said, there are some good things for both of these teams. I really like that they rounded up with Seb's Axe, as it gives them some extra catch versus the Weaver and the Storm. Before that, they literally only had Dream Coil, which is sometimes enough, but you don't really want to count on only one hero, right?
No, you don't want to pile all the pressure on a Thompson. I think last time I saw him play Puck, that was against Viking, and he got obliterated, right? So it's better to have this backup plan. This draft, it feels more rounded, right? When I look at this feels like full OG comfort. And I think that goes for Liquid as well. Both these teams are playing strong into their style.
Wait, was that because the last time I watched him, he was 0-5 versus Iceberg's Doom mid as well.
Oh, okay. So there's a recurring theme here. There's no Doom in the game. So this should be a godsend game.
Yeah, but I'm sure he had a couple of good puck games as well. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm not going to check it. But
it's that moment you just hear the type in the keyboard and you just hear Liz go, oh, God.
Talking about lanes, something different from Liquid is that Boxy is playing this Enigma. Obviously, because they have Earth Spirit in the game. But if you remember, they played quite a lot of Taiga Enigmas, in which he really takes over that position 3, and then you have the position 4 Boxy running around with Void Spirit or something similar.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of anticipating, right? Because Liquid, they're very heavy into this idea of usually giving an Enigma a solo lane. But currently, the way they're starting this up, it looks like they might want to try and put pressure on top, maybe because Mike should be okay bot, right? There's no way to grab him.
Mm-hmm. I actually expected them to do the thing that they always do versus Enigma, is it's go in between tier 1 and tier 2 and cancel his clarity, also not allow him to do what he's doing right now. If you see Boxy, he's going to uber block this wave. And what this allows you to do is get 2 denies out of range of the enemy core, which makes everything much, much easier, and the equilibrium of the lane becomes so much easier to control.
Yeah, just kind of exploring the fact that OG, they're not necessarily the strongest at lane level 1-2, right? Like you need level 2 Fury swipes on mid 1 to really start to pressure either of these heroes.
Yeah,
I'm trying to stop them out.
Yeah, I'm not sure how strong. Like Wisp and Ursa, that's an old school lane, but Enigma and Earth Spirit, I don't see them really pressuring that hard against them, because Enigma and Earth Spirit should be completely fine to free farm on top lane.
Yeah, and then the thing is, even when the Earth Spirit starts to rotate, like, can you actually easily get on top of Boxy here, as you are, a melee hero against the range?
Maybe if he steps out of line, right? If he's out of position, you can. But I think if you're looking at first blood, mid or bottom lane is more likely. But we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, especially that bot lane. Having the potential Ink Swell run in with the Shikuchi at level 2, you could easily see Axel or Tusk just get picked off.
Yeah, unless mid one plays like this top lane, this is insane.
I mean, he's going to be brought low, but we'll be able to get away. Notel re-engages the tether to escape himself, but that was a little bit too close for comfort for the OG boys.
Okay, I take everything back that I said, man. If they continue to be this aggressive on top lane, that might just be the lane with most kills.
Tiger? Okay. I mean, he could go for the back, but you don't really want to stick this Ursa next to Boxy, I guess.
Yeah, that was the plan, right? Roll in on him and then kick him under the tower, but Ursa was a little bit too far already, and probably not the best idea to get him close.
That's not as ridiculous in like level 1-2 as used to be, right? Like, you compare a year ago, you used to have higher armor. I think the Fury swipes, that was back when the reset time was fixed at 20, right? That was when he was a bit more scary.
When you actually even leveled over early on, right? Like that's when he was actually good. In the lane, at least, like he would zone you out immediately. And right now, it's a bit different. It's a little bit easier to lane into.
Yeah, it requires you to consistently pressure your opponent, right? Otherwise, the Fury swipes very quickly reset, and you might just get poked and prodded at back.
Yeah. What's happening on the other lanes? Storm and Puck, kind of even. Storm doing a bit better, 5 denies versus 2 of Thompson. So, this is Koikwa's best hero. Like his Storm, his Lone Druid, that's really when Liquid shines.
That's what I'm about to say. Like, the question is, like, you say his best hero. Is Lone Druid or Storm his best hero? He's making it look like Storm might be the one. Thompson just about able to move away, but won't be good enough. Gets him with the overload damage.
Yeah, Thompson with his Puck not really starting off too well. The thing about Puck and this Storm matchup is, okay, on the lane, Storm can do well, but he still finds problem afterwards because Puck can leash him with that Dream Coil and take him down.
Seb, I don't know if they're going to get this. Rolling? Oh, Tiger, no. The smash is off the mark. They're not able to close the kill.
At least they're pressuring him, and Seb is forced to go out of the lane, even with the Ring of Health, which is pretty nice. I think you need to control Seb quite a bit in this game.
Exactly, and that's the key thing here, right? Liquid right now, they're not waiting to see the kind of pressure OG is going to apply. Tiger so far is trying to outpace what Satcha now wants to do, which is kind of rotate and make these lanes uncomfortable.
Actually, 2 very similar heroes on position 4s, like Tusk and Earth Spirit. If you think about what these 2 heroes want to do in the laning stage, Earth Spirit maybe rotates a bit more often towards the mid lane, but in general, it's a similar strategy.
It just feels like it's Saxy. He always needs to be somewhere near bot because, of course, there is always that risk of what we just got a preview of, right? The Inkswell bomb in with Mike.
Yep. And the lane doesn't get easier for Seb here as Mike gets levels, because not only levels, it's items that really matter on Mike. He has these 2 raid ban.
They got Thompson again? Oh no!
Did I predict something bad? Did I jinx him?
I think I'm the one that truly jinxed him. I must apologize, because I did say there was no Doom in the game, so he should have a good time. But this is definitely not the case so far. 5 minutes in and 2 deaths already on the park.
Okay, and they get Seb. Liquid is on fire. Like, Like, yeah, they're doing really well right now. Koikwa is actually abusing that DD to pressure Thompson even more.
He's going to decide to back off after he forces the TP from Io.
That is level 4 Puck versus level 6 Storm. 5 minutes in.
This is exactly the same way this broke out in those Doom games, right? Like, I think the first kill was level 3-4 on Puck, and then the Dooms would be level 6 or 7 when the Puck was barely level 5.
Okay, so there's one slight difference. Tasaksa bottom lane should be fine. I by the way, also just want to mention that this task on bottom lane is pretty good because of Snowball. Mike is caught, but he should be fine. You can always dodge Inkswell with the Snowball, which is why Seb is having a bit of a better time down here. But going back to that mid lane, Storm Spirit is a little bit easier to punish than a Doom is. When Doom goes out of control, as Puck, there is nothing you can do. He's way too tanky, your spells tickle him. Storm, as soon as you get level 6 on Thompson, if you don't die before that again, mid lane.
He might. The Sun's going to be there, the roll through. They've got the damage, the first through Thompson again. Or have they lose you out just in time? They'll barely get him away alive. Quickford decided not to burn the rest of his mana. I mean, when you've got this sort of lead, even if you get that kill, the only thing you can do is lose out.
Yeah. And the worst thing for OG right now is the fact that no matter who you rotate mid, you're not killing Koikwa unless Thompson is 6, right? Like, no supports can help you. On the other hand, Taiga with the silence, he allows these kills on Thompson to happen.
Yeah, and even if you know it's coming right now, you can see like Thompson is kind of desperate to get that extra bit of XP. So to him, it's kind of worth that risk, right? Because as you said, once you have the level 6, I mean, there's plenty of work you can do in this game as Thompson with that Dream Core.
God, he's being controlled so hard, and now Koikwa pushed in, and they're rotating top, they smoked up. There is a chance for Thompson to get this 6 and maybe TP top and answer this, unless they're too far out, which they are.
Looks like it.
Oh.
Smoke's gonna break. Oh, nope. Mid one was wise to it. I think the ward just got a glimpse of him on the low ground there.
Very good read from them, and look how far they run. This is exactly what they had to do. Just run to the towers, run to the hills. And if they dive that deep, then fucking assist. But you know, it's a good thing for OG that they didn't get ganked there.
Yeah, you don't want this Storm Snowball more out of control. What you need now is Thompson to start kind of finding his place in this game. It'd be fair to say, without the Axe, without the Puck, this is a very hard game for mid one to find targets to stick on top of, right?
What's actually very interesting is that Koikwa is going for Bloodstone first. Like maybe he just queued it for the Kaya and that's it, which is something that we see like Kaya into Orchid. But
I think
he also has Arcane Rune right now.
We've also seen, I think it's FN occasionally likes to just build the Soul Booster, right? Just because it tanks you up to stupid points. So I'm curious to see if he will go Kaya or if it's going to be Soul Booster because he's like, oh, if I get hit by the Dream Call, I just need to tank up, maybe.
That's true. Actually, that's a fairly good point. But what I was expecting maybe is when you have a start as good as this one, to go for Orchid and then be aggressive on the map, but top lane?
Oh, box. They've got him. Thompson's going to rotate. Dream Call down, but the roll in. The Black Hole's going to come out. Thompson is going to be punished alongside Saxon. Mistakes have been made.
Man. Damn. This
They're reading them so well.
That jump on top of the Enigma without actually silencing him, and then he just turns into the Black Hole. That's literally the best thing that could happen for Boxy.
I mean, it's getting better for them in general. Liquid, they're going to find 2 more picks. Mid one, he used the Rage, but nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Liquid, they're giving 0 breathing space to OG. There's no chance to play. There's always reactions coming out from Team Liquid.
Well, Seb is breathing with his lungs. Like, very
deep breaths
deep,
as he shakes back and
deep
forth.
Breaths,
like...
yeah. He's
right
the
now,
only
Seb...
one.
Oh, I'm going to say he's the only one who's actually having somewhat of a game, right?
Yeah, he's on the outskirts just watching and waiting for his blink, and I think this is probably the best thing to do. You don't want to join the massacre, just wait for your items and then actually make an impact.
That might be more massacring. They don't hit the Sands on the Quake He's out of mana. Inkswell, Tiger is going to cover him. They're going to have to use the Dream Call, but all this for an Earth Spirit kill does not feel good. You won't be able to find more.
That's exactly what he wanted, right? He got Inksfeld and ran in. He was take me instead, save Mr. President Koikwa on Storm Spirit. That's it. Like, you just
He was
run in, you
literally
give your,
Boromiring, right?
yeah, you give your life for the more important hero, and it's a really good play because that Dream Coil now is on cooldown, and Storm Spirit should feel way safer on the map. There you go, he goes in.
Yeah. Safe isn't enough for Koikfa. He wants everyone else to not feel safe, as Puck is learning the hard way. Nice roll in, ensures no response can come out from Thompson.
It's always like this. It's in Dota, everything is a domino effect. One thing leads to another, and if you use that Dream Coil and get only a support, suddenly Storm can kill you without worrying of any repercussions.
Most definitely. It's just like, where do you find kills, right? It feels like you can go off this Enigma now, he doesn't have Black Hole, but it feels a bit wonky. The Weaver, very hard kill.
Sucks up.
And if Puck's always dead, what can you do? You're just going to lose more heroes as they find Tusk as well. It's just, there's no easy way for OG to mount a defense until that Blink Dagger is online was set.
And this is a minute 11, free tier 1 on mid lane, uncontested, also tier 1 on top lane. Meanwhile, the only thing that you did lose and are losing is bottom lane, where Seb is finding a lot of space and a lot of farm. This is the trump card for OG. Once he gets this Blink Dagger, you should expect some smokes and perhaps some good plays from OG, because right now everything is looking grim.
Hey man, if there was any hero you could give to Seb that he could deliver a miracle with, okay?
Seb!
This is the one! Makes you wonder if right now he's kind of wiping his brow and go, oh, I mean, well, the amount of carrying I had to do in that one was maybe a bit easier, because there is a high expectation of what the Axe has to achieve in this game.
All things put aside, they're finding decent farm on Ursa. They're making a lot of stacks for mid one, and they're farming them very efficiently with Wisp, so he's keeping up with the farm at least. And Seb is still on top, so it's not all that grim overall, even though objectives and kills are completely in favor of Liquid.
Yeah, you're just waiting for that key moment, right? The OG are known for, where they have the power to just go as 5. It can be hard fighting into an Enigma, but once you get the key items, you know they're just going to start running constantly. Right now, the run tool is top. BK will get out, though.
Really good read from him, using that super treat to get away from the smoke.
Oh no, reload the box, he's gone. All right, Seb's game's got a little bit better. Blink is worthwhile straight away. Already 600 gold on his way to his next item.
They might counterplay this. Taiga and Koikwa, they're scouting out Seb.
Go for him. Magnetized throwing out. Seb dragged in, down to half HP. He's been burnt through quickly here. TPs are coming in. No tail's going to be there to tether across. Cool's going to be used. Roll through will be sidestep. Dream Cool comes out to 2. They're going to turn around to Koikwa, burst through, dunk him down. And next on the hit list is Tiger, who has no easy way to roll out of this. There's too many heroes around him. They're ensuring they block every path of escape as they turn it around and get even more value in this bot lane.
Seb just brushed his shoulders off, and he's like, yeah, no sweat, man. Chill out, casters. I got this.
It's like, bro, I handled the TI Grand Final pressure. This is nothing.
Yeah, but this is the difference between an axe that rushes Blink Dagger and an axe that rushes Vanguard into Blink Dagger. Like, when you go for Vanguard, you're forcing yourself to be a little bit more patient, and you find naturally more farm because you have that region. If you went for Blink first, maybe those early engagements wouldn't go their way, and everything would have fallen apart. This is like a really smart decision to go Vanguard into Blink.
Yeah, it's less desperate, right? Like, when you rush that Blink, it's because something has gone terribly wrong. And credit to him, most games, most axes, they would have looked at the state of this game and went, I need a Blink immediately.
Yeah, most games you would see phases into Blink, right? Like, that would be the general build, but this is much better looking right now.
It's that moment as you said that, I thought about general, I realized it's always the CIS players that give you these awkward names in the middle of commentary. No one, Solo.
I mean,
general.
some of the Asian names as well, like just a random syllable.
They might have him this time. It's taken a while, but they've got the CC and there's no reinforcements coming. So it looks like Seb will eventually go down. Maybe he gets the spin, maybe he gets the donkey, takes one with him. You could see he was like, come on, just one spin, baby. It's like when you're sitting in front of the roulette, just hoping it'll land on the 0.
Look at the smoke on top lane, though. Is this? Yeah, this is for the stacks, it looks like. They need to be... Actually, they might set up a trap here. Let's see if Koikwa will take the bait. Because remember, there is a bounty rune that spawned on minute 15. It looks like he won't go there.
No, he has to be aware that this area doesn't feel safe right now. They haven't really had anyone sitting up here in a while.
They're checking Rosh instead.
Makes sense. You're against an Ursa. Instead, the Ursa is trying to kill off Heroes here. Thompson is stunned up, and Tiger the one in trouble. Gonna Soulbind 2, movement in. Vortex Dragon in the Black Hole's gonna be there for 3. They're turning around, they bring them down. Ursa, Puck, and Isle all hit the deck. Liquid fantastically re-established control over this area.
I loved the play from OG. The problem is very evident. You don't have a tier 1 mid or top, and now mid lane.
And again, I don't know if they... Oh, Zeb. Just enough damage to get the dunk in before the time-lapse comes out.
That's a great counter kill. Like a recovery kill now that you lost your carry, you also killed theirs, so kind of fine. But back to that black hole on top lane. It's only because no objectives have been taken. They can reach their allies so easily and counterattack.
Oh, OG, they want more. They're angry. They're like, okay, though, you got 3. We're going to need at least 1 more. So now it's 2. If they can find the third, they can make it perfectly even. They might just settle for the tower, though, with the creep wave pushing in. Or maybe even Roche. I mean, Black Hole is on cooldown, right? That's the other big thing for Liquid. It was a great Black Hole, but now where's your CC?
Just play around the cooldowns, right? That's it. When you play against Enigma, play when that black hole is off, and that's it. But smoke, maybe.
Oh, bye-bye coming out. Thompson holding the high ground. I like this, though, because he can ambush with the Dream Coil. Seb with the jump in. The coil's going to come out. Snowball across. They're trying to control him up. Dragon Axe away. Ooh. They don't. No, they get it off. They're able to get the time lapse. They're going to keep him alive. They'll turn around. Axe and Thompson brought down. Ursa taking a lot of damage. He has to stand and fight on a quick, but he's able to move away. It's a double kill for Mike, and they're hunting for more. On this side, they are going to be able to clean up Tusk as well. Tiger putting in some work on this Earth Spirit as they'll hunt down the final member of OG and clean up the captain himself.
Insane execution by Liquid there. Like the peace of mind that they had, the calm to figure out who exactly they need to CC, so that Weaver manages to use his time lapse like 1 millisecond away from being done. That's really, really well played, and it looks like it's going to be their rush, even though they don't have that black hole.
This is crippling, right? One of the big advantages of picking an Ursa is this. It's so easy to get your hands on that first and second Aegis. It might not be as reliant as like a Husk guy, right? But it's still a critical objective for this hero.
It depends on the item build of Ursa as well. When you're going for Battle Fury like he is, getting that early rush is cool, but it's not like game winning or losing. Because you can still roll back into the triangle, farm up the stacks like he's doing right now.
That's right, and he's going to be on his way pretty quickly towards that Bastion next. So then, you're going to see a little bit more CC, and that might be the situation next time where the time lapse doesn't go off. It's Liquid. They have to keep very cleanly executing these saves to make sure Mike survives the engagement.
They probably found the most desired item as well, neutral item. They got a clumsy net right now for themselves. On the side of OG, that is. So let's see who's going to pick that up. Maybe Ursa, maybe Tusk, maybe even Seb. In any case, yeah, that's what you want.
Tusk has gone for the Dragon Scale, and I don't think Ursa's given up those Vampire Fangs. That's just too juicy. Maybe Seb. I think right now the Iron Talon is nice, but...
It's on Wisp, actually. At least when you look at neutrals, it looks like it's on him.
I guess he's like, oh, well, I'm going to be with the Ursa, right? The Ursa needs that additional lockdown, so I'll just grab them for him, and he can just go to town.
Yeah. Can work. Seb is setting up a trap, but he doesn't know that Boxy is doing exactly the same thing. Because if you think about it, there's 6 possible heroes here with a relocate.
However, Liquid seem to have abandoned their trap. Boxy, he'll sidestep. A Tiger is quick off the mark to try and punish this. With the roll-in, it's pinged out though. Tusk knows. Are they going to try and reinforce the question? Seb will try and run away, but he's gone. They are not willing to try and get involved in this. The reload is not available, so it'll be pointless. Saxa is forced to fight. Thompson with the Dream Call. They're going to try and turn now. Saxa's going to be there. Boxy not able to do anything. He used the black hole and it instantly got cancelled by Thompson. They'll at least find the kill on the Tusk, but they need to find this kill on the Thompson as well, or it's not going to be worthwhile. Looks like they might be able to get him. The problem is No-Tail is here now to try and drag him away. This Soulbind will keep them together, but you're an Io. You kind of want that anyway. So we'll drag him in and ensure the kill. Quake but barely alive as he ball lightens away. No-Tail able to sidestep the roll, but nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. As No-Tail, Io is going to die.
Kicks him away.
Get the hell away from my team.
Really, really well played by Liquid, but I can't not say it, man. OG, that was... Everything went wrong there from the beginning, right? Like, first Axe misses that call, then they don't relocate instantly after, but Axe still sticks around. I think what he... Obviously, he doesn't have our vision.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you just see how confident Mike is at this stage in the game, right? With the Aegis going towards that Skadi, like the window which this Aegis is covering will then be replaced by the Skadi that'll make him all but impenetrable. Sax is going to be the one dying up there.
Yeah, it's this build from Mike as well. I've seen this a couple of times. The Dragonlance and Maelstrom. I see a lot of Weavers actually still rushing the MKB, and then perhaps Dragonlance or Daz or whatever. I like this from Mike because he's usually the main core, the main carry of his team. And when he gets this Maelstrom, he farms a little bit quicker, and this Dragonlance plus Power Treads give him just enough of HP and raw effective health, right, to stay in the fights.
Yeah, and it's not like mid one's going to be able to jump across to deal with you yet. Until he's got that Abyssal complete, he's a little bit slow to follow up on the initiation of the puck or the axe. So it does feel like Mike has quite a free game right now.
Yeah, but that bottom fight is still in my mind, man.
I know, right? Because I think the reload was on cooldown.
Was it? Yeah, it could have been. But why do you jump him then? That's the question. It's just mind-boggling. Something went wrong for OG there.
Because like I saw him jump in, I looked up, and those wonderful little green diamonds. Yeah, Io's was blank. He didn't have it apparently. And I mean, if you have that reload, it's a completely different situation, right? Because credit to Thompson, he perfectly cancelled the black hole from Boxy.
By the way, can you check neutral items for Dire?
Do you want to talk about how unfair it is?
No, the only thing that I can't change the neutral items to Dire. I can only see
so
Radiant.
You open the shop and then you click on one of the members of the team. It should switch over.
There we go.
You have to. I don't know why it's
so
this
it's
way.
Tusk.
It defaults to one team. So if you don't click over.
No,
again,
I was clicking on the hero and then on the shop. My bad. In any case,
okay.
Aegis has been reclaimed.
And they make a play though. Mid one's acting as if he wants to be forward, but the backline doesn't want to be. Tiger intercepts No-Tail straight away, controlling onto him. Black Hole is going to come out in the river, connected on a 2. They've found Thompson. They're going to find mid one as well. The Enrage already having been used. Liquid are just dismantling OG here as they're going to hunt forward and find the remainder of the team as they're leased together. The Inkswell is going to stun them up for a hell of a long time. Seb, last man standing, but not for long. The controller's too good. It's a triple kill for Mike. With this, they could easily just push in and take some towers as a bonus on the side.
The insane thing is, this is OG's smoke to begin with, right? They're looking at this, okay, they don't have Aegis, we can fight perhaps right now. They timed it pitch perfect, right? Aegis just got reclaimed. And the Black Hole connects on position 1 and position 2. How many times do you see that happening? Usually in Dota, you're looking at that one target, and the other core is usually far away, but man, Boxy is getting some great Black Holes.
Yeah, I mean, we always see Tiger, right? We always see Tiger Enigma. Boxy, he's got his hands on his hero. He's like, let me show you what I can do with this. And so far, we have been impressed. I mean, I feel very worried for OG right now, because now with a BKB online, what's your solution? You need Thompson to have an axe, but look at his net worth in this game. Look how much he's suffering.
Yeah, there's a smoking up again. Instant smoke, they're running towards Mike top lane. But look at Mike, he pushes out one wave, he's instantly hiding. The way he's moving while he farms and pushes out is something that anyone can look at and just copy and improve his own gameplay.
Look at bot right now. Mid one, he's in too deep. Good trying to stand his ground, but the Inkswell, the silences, everything is there. Mid one is going to be gone. No-Tail might die as well. He tried to get him out with a reload, but it gets cancelled. Not just dodging the ganks, but anticipating where the remainders are going to be. Liquid have got OG's number here.
Full Skadi completed as well on Mike. he has that level 15 talent. He didn't go for the mana break, he went for the strength. I believe everyone takes strength right now, but still, it just makes him so tanky.
That was a very depressing Walrus punch.
Yep.
I mean, he didn't use the tag team. He just wanted out. You have no sort of way of dealing with Mike in this game.
We've seen something similar, didn't we? Like recently, Liquid played Mike Weaver, and he just owned.
Yeah. He's clearly one with this hero. And Axe is about to become one with death. Bio is going to try and save him, but no reload. Still on cooldown. They're going to troll him up. The Soulbind actually works against the Axe in the end. No Tail trying to help. He's just going to sign over his own death. The Dream Call to try and buy some time. Thompson jumping in though. Quick, but turned around upon. They will bring down the Storm Spirit. And the next Spirit to fall might be Tiger. Back to get one away, but nice block by Thompson so he can't roll out. The Ink Sword has ran out. Tiger able to get away with the secondary roll. And Mike has a ride. Will get bashed up. Can he actually get out? This is going to be controlled. If they get another bash, they're going to get Mike brought down mid-1. Finally getting a chance to shine in this game.
Some pretty big mistakes from Liquid, but man, the bashes really followed mid-1 this time around. He got what? It wasn't the first hit on Mike, but it was like one of the first 2 or 3.
I think it was the 3rd or 4th, and then next time he had to wait another like 3 or 4, which is reasonable. It's the fact that Mike, like, he must have heard us saying, you know what? Mike is unkillable. It's just echo in his mind. There is no way they can kill him. But they need to kill him now. Double buyback, mid-1, down to half HP. They're getting him low. He's sunstopped. They're going to get him out. Black hole, no Boxy. They're going to drag him back in. Maybe they can do enough damage here. They're going to bring him low mid-1. Can he actually turn on this? No, Seb's not able to turn it for him in time. Earthspirit Brawl low, but will not fall. Dream Call goes down. Thompson trying to control him up. Seb's still alive. Will finally go down. They're running out of heroes to throw at this. They're going to lose the puck as well. Io unable to help.
Damn, the decisiveness from Liquid. They're just owning them in these rush fights. This is the second rush engagement that goes in Liquid's favor. And the way they play around it, the fact that they just instantly buy back 2 heroes, fight with that black hole, that's impressive. Really good stuff from Liquid. And now with the Aegis on Weaver, or with the cheese on Storm Spirit, the game becomes a little bit more difficult, as it wasn't already too hard for OG. There's also Fairy Fire, I believe, that's going to be given to Mike. Yep.
He's like, okay, guys, this tanky build isn't 100%. Can I just get that extra little oomph at the edge? I mean, credit to Boxy as well, because that black hole, yeah, for a moment, you're like, okay, he's losing half the duration, but he understood. You just need 2 seconds of control on a mid-1, and he's kind of done.
Yeah, it was good enough. It was still good enough. The problem from OG is, if you're looking at the way they're playing, every single thing looks a bit too forced, right? Like, there isn't this... They can't simply just execute a play. They need to force it. They need to always have casualties. And it comes down to not being able to play the map correctly, as Tier 1, 28 minutes in, is still standing. It's hard to smoke go anywhere when the only Tier 1 that you've taken is the bottom one, and that's not really a big deal.
You don't have any natural sieges as OG, right? The only way they take objectives is by winning fights. As you said, finding those fights on favorable grounds is very hard with all of these reinforcement points. Oh, rolling long range, Thompson gets connected onto. There's going to be a call to turn around onto him. The bash is going to come out. They dunked him down and kill him off. Buyback's going to be there though. He's going to be arriving soon. No Tail being brought low. Will be burst through. Mike with the stun control. Tusk is going to be brought down. Mid-1 with the BKB. Forced to stand and fight. He needs another bash though. Mike able to get the time lapse off and move away. They're going to stun up Thompson to make sure he cannot pursue. He's in trouble. No Tail being brought low after the buyback. That's going to be the dieback. The core controller, Weaver. They've still got the Fury Swipe stack. They'll dunk him, bring down once. Quickfer with the control out onto Ursa. Needs the cheese to stay alive. The term of the black hole. They'll find it. The bear is dead. Axe is going to be dead. Everyone on OG is going to be dead. As Tiger is once again surging forward, looking for another target. Seb, low on mana, low on health. No way to turn and fight. Is going to die. They wipe them again. Oh my word. Liquid.
Yep.
Wow.
A perfect prelude to what just happened is when we talked about not having control on the map, right? Like, you get a good pick off on Taiga, even though he was the one that rolled in. But then there's a Tier 1, and what's the problem? He just buybacks, goes back in, straight up. And that fight, Liquid didn't have Black Hole, actually. It was still on 20 seconds of a cooldown. And in the end, when Boxy used it, I don't think it even mattered. Like, they already won it. It was good. They used the cheese and Aegis, but still super worth it.
Yeah, it's like you used it, sure, but you used it well. I mean, look what it's getting you. It's getting you a set of racks, and it might get you more of the rolling connection. Tiger on point time and time again in this game.
One more thing, the Orb of Destruction that Mickey is wearing right now, these small intricacies, was picked up by Insania in the middle of that fight. One of OG's players dropped it. I'm not sure why, but...
Thompson, he's going to drop the Dream Core. Bloodstone forced out. BKB's had with Epoxy. The refresher, there's the Black Hole again. Connects on the mid one. They're going to run through Seb first and all the support and casters. Mid one, he pops the Enrage to try and fight, but it looks hopeless. He's going to fall as well. That has to be game. GG gets called. Liquid, time and time again, refusing to let OG have a moment to breathe in this game.
Really well played by Liquid. From the laning stage, they identified the hero that might give them most problems in the mid game. That was Thompson on his puck. They committed the Earth Spirit towards mid lane to help out Koikwa, who was already doing fine, to just completely shut down Thompson. And they did it, man. Like, it really, really well played. Then those rotations towards the top lane, they didn't really bear any fruit for OG. They just died to Boxy's Enigma. And in the end, this refresher, it was important because it baited the fight for OG, but the game was already done, really.
No, just clean and crisp from Team Liquid. Right? That's the thing. It was the fact that they played confidently, and there was you never felt like there was a moment of panic, right? Like, these executions were so clean. I feel like the fight that really came down to was in the river when they almost killed Mike, right? That was kind of OG's break point, where from then on, it felt like anything they tried to do was salvaging what Liquid were capitalizing on.
Just a hard game to play if you're OG. I think really Thompson being the main sort of disable to catch Mike and to catch Koikwa. It's too much. It's too much to ask from one hero. Seb, definitely he did contribute, but still, I have a feeling like they needed something different on one of their supports just to be able to deal with Mike. Excellent drafting coming from Liquid, obviously, that made that happen.
Yeah. Fantastically done. And not just going into that predictable tri lane we usually see where the Enigma gets left alone. They show some flexibility with it, which is maybe a weakness that sometimes can be exploited. I'm glad to see they have that flex, and they sure as hell flexed on OG here. And ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this excitement continues, right? This is just the opening best of one. If you thought that's all we got, no. You know what's up next after this? Enigma versus Secret. Before that, we're going to throw it back across, break down this game, and get ready for Enigma versus Secret.
EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or